Closer to home, the Roman Catholic community in Grenada and around the world is mourning the passing of the 88-year-old pontiff who died on Easter Monday. He is being remembered by many as a humble and peaceful leader. Bishop Clyde Harvey of the Diocese of St. George's, Grenada, reflected on the Pope's legacy, describing him as a man of deep humility and peace.
Basically, it's both a day of sadness and a day of thanksgiving, a time of sadness and a time of thanksgiving. Because you've lost somebody who was an exemplar in so many different ways. His love for the poor, his understanding of the compassion of Jesus. Mercy was his second name. Would I remember him as a man who was in love with God and in love with people?
A special service, Bishop Harvey says, will be held tomorrow evening at the cathedral in honor of the late Pope, followed by a mass later in the week for the repose of his soul. Father Marcian Rumick, parish priest of the Blessed Sacrament Church in Grenada, described it as a very sad moment for the church, noting the deep sense of loss felt throughout the Catholic community.
It is a very sad moment, and it is a very shocking moment at some point as well. Although we knew that he has a problem with his health, I think no one expected that he will die so quickly, because even yesterday he was at St. Peter's Square. He was giving the blessing, Easter blessing, Urbi and Orbi, to the people. So it's a moment of sadness and grief. At the same time, him passing technically on the solemnity of Easter, because we are in the octave of Easter, it's like the one day, is giving a lot of hope. It's like the sign. Easter is resurrection, Easter is life.
Additionally, several Catholic churches hold their annual harvest celebrations on Easter Monday, with the Blessed Sacrament Church being among them. However, this year's event was cancelled out of respect for the passing of the Pope. Parish priest Father Marcian Rumick assured parishioners that the efforts made in preparing for the harvest will not go to waste, and alternative plans are being considered.
This morning we had received the message from Bishop that all festive activities should be cancelled in our church. That includes harvest. So we are following that instruction with the understanding that this is a moment of grief. This is a moment of sadness. The ministry of Pope Francis was focused on the people in need, on the poor, of the marginalized. So we think that the best way of honoring him in that situation right now, when already a lot of things has been prepared, will be to share that with the people in need.
Prime Minister Honorable Deacon Mitchell is also remembering Pope Francis. A statement from the Prime Minister's office reads in part, and I quote, "It is with great sorrow that I extend heartfelt condolences on behalf of the government and people of Grenada on the passing of His Holiness, Pope Francis." Pope Francis, who passed away on Easter Monday at the age of 88, was considered by many a moral giant of our time. He was a humble servant leader, a voice for the poor and marginalized, whose life was defined by compassion and justice. His voice resonated far beyond the walls of the Vatican region and in the hearts of people across the Catholic faith. He championed peace and unity and was a true advocate for preserving the earth, which is our home. His leadership inspired millions to see the world not through the lens of division, but through the eyes of mercy and love. Even in his time of illness, Pope Francis dared to serve with courage and humility. This should be a lesson for us all to follow. To the global Catholic community, and especially to the brothers and sisters of the Catholic faith here in Grenada, we share in your grief and lift you up in our prayers during this time of mourning. The funeral of Pope Francis will take place on Saturday morning. Cardinals have been meeting to set up details for the days ahead. The Vatican said the 88-year-old died from a stroke and subsequent heart failure on Easter Monday. A conclave, which is the process to select a new pope, will be held in the coming weeks. Christina John, GBN News.